Hey YouTube, this is Raj, and today I'm going to be talking about the honey block in Minecraft, basically what it does, so why don't we get started. So let's talk about the honey block in Minecraft. So this video is meant to be not about harvesting honey block, that is more meant for my honey bottle video, but to quickly summarize that, basically if you want to collect honey, you have to get honey bottles, so you have to go up to a bee's nest or a beehive when it's at honey level 5, so basically you can tell because the texture is different and also it's dripping particles. You right click with a glass bottle, and to make sure that you're actually not attacked by the bees that are inside, you have to put a campfire underneath it, and this prevents them from coming out and attacking you. So that's a very easy way of harvesting honey bottles. So the next thing I'm going to show you is basically the recipe for creating a honey block. So as you can tell, it's 4 honey bottles in that way, and you'll get a honey block. And I'm going to show you the different kind of functions with a honey block. So if you go down the side of it, it's kind of, you can see my movement is slowed. There's a sound to it, and I'm going very slowly, and it actually negates any fall damage. So if you go down the side, you won't take any fall damage. So if you jump onto honey blocks, you can see that it was slightly different than a slime block. Slime blocks, you usually jump up a bit when you fall onto them, but with honey blocks you basically just stick, and it also reduces your fall damage by 80%. So the next thing about honey blocks is that you can tell when you walk onto them, they're actually a bit lower than a normal block. So it went down a bit. It's hard to tell though. Your movement will obviously be a little slower when you're moving on honey blocks, and it reduces your jumping ability by 85%. So that means you can only jump 3/16 of a block when you're on a honey block. So if you want to get off of a honey block, you can put a half slab next to it and it'll actually step up. So that's an easier way of getting it rather than just a full block, which you can't really get up to at all. And also mobs will try to avoid honey blocks, and they are a transparent block. And I'm just going to show you how it interacts with redstone signals. So this is a slime block. Slime blocks allow redstone signals to travel through it. So as you can tell, I'll flick this lever and it should give a signal to the redstone lamp to light up. So as you can tell, it lit up, and every time I flick the lever, it gives a redstone signal. So in contrast, the honey block does not give out a redstone signal. So if you flick this lever with the same setup and you're hoping for that to light up, you can tell nothing happens. In contrast, something happens here. So the next thing about honey blocks that's kind of interesting is that if you stand on them and you flick the lever, it'll actually allow you to travel with the honey block. So if you put something on top of here, it's actually possible, most items, not all, but it's actually possible for it to move with the honey block. In contrast to this with the normal slime block, if you flick the lever, you can tell I did not move at all. The next thing is that honey blocks will move the block that's adjacent to it. So the stone block is here, and as you can tell, the stone block moved with the honey block, and in the reverse too when it was pulling it. And these are 2 of the blocks that won't travel with the honey block. So a slime block does not stick to a honey block, and also glazed terracotta don't move either. So as you can tell, only the honey block moved. Also, when it is moving this block, it'll move this block. So there you go. And as you can tell, this one, it can't pull it because it's not connected to the honey block, so it only can push that block. And the next thing is when you have something like an immobile block like obsidian here, it actually prevents the honey block from moving. So as you can tell, usually it would move forward, but it cannot move forward because of the obsidian block is blocking something that the honey block is connected to. So the next thing is that water or liquid does not block the honey block. So as you can tell here, there's water all around here, and you push it, there's a weird thing here with the piston, but you can tell that the water hasn't really changed. at all, and it actually resets back to normal. So if you wanted to do something like a kelp farm with honey blocks, you can do that. So the next thing is that with a normal piston, it cannot actually pull the honey block. So as you've seen all the previous examples, all of them have been sticky pistons, so when I flick the lever, it pushes it and then pulls it back. But this is a normal piston, and we shall see, it pushes it, but it cannot pull it. And as you can tell, as soon as I did that, it pretty much broke what I was doing. And the next thing is that the maximum limit for honey blocks, or pretty much for pushing of a piston, is 12 blocks. So 12 honey blocks here, and as you can tell, it went forward and it went back. So that was honey blocks in Minecraft. I hope that was helpful for you guys in understanding how honey blocks work. You can also turn honey blocks back into honey bottles if you want to. It's pretty straightforward. If you're interested, I've also done a video on bees and honeycombs, so you can check out those. And I'll be doing a lot of videos on the 1.15 update, so you can watch for those videos in the next couple days. So if you like this video, please give me a like. If you want me to keep producing content, please give me a subscribe. You can always leave a comment, I appreciate that. And stay classy, YouTube. This is Raj.